Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. And happy springtime. I'm not actually sure if it's officially spring, but because I didn't look at the calendar or anything. But I'm like pretty sure, right?
Okay, well now we're going to look at the calendar.
Listen, I'm pretty sure that spring has sprung.
I think
at this
spring
point.
has not sprung.
No? I thought
I
it was
don't know.
soon.
I thought it was on the 21st and now...
The equinox.
When will spring? We don't know. Spring 2024. March 19th. So we are springing currently. As of yesterday.
See?
You're listening when the day drops.
I just had a feeling. I really just had a feeling that spring had sprung, and it did.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah, my nose can feel that spring is springing right now.
Oh, I know.
I can tell you that in my voice. And everything about me. My whole personality is just sickness and illness.
I know. Yeah, I'm feeling it too. The allergies season.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody is, you know.
Yeah, but honestly, it's fine because the sun is out and the sun has cured my depression. So,
I agree.
So I mean, honestly, we're better off. I think we're better off.
No, we're better off. Plus, our bodies will acclimate to the pollen here soon.
Exactly.
And, like I had to work an hour late today, and I still got off with sun to spare. So,
see,
that was hype. I was like depressed about working late this week. Don't you hate when you have to work late on days for like things that are not fun, such as I have to get a crown on Thursday, and so now I have to like take an entire day off of work and like make up the hours because I don't want to use my PTO to get a stupid crown. Because also I have to use my PTO for something fun that I'm doing next week that I just found out today.
Ooh, what is it?
I'm going to see Fall Out Boy. By the time you're listening to this, I will have seen Fall Out Boy. I'm so excited.
My God. Oh
my gosh. It's my first concert of 2024. And if anybody knows me, you know that I love concerts more than anything in my whole life. I love concerts. And so this is the first one of 2024, and I am so excited.
I need to get some concerts planned. I don't have any. No, that's a lie. I do actually have at least one planned.
That's good. Yeah, so. I have currently in my inbox, I have 4 regular concerts and 1 music festival lined up.
Yeah.
So
you always just have all of them lined up.
I'm telling you, it's the only thing keeping me going is concerts. It's my thing. It is what it is.
You know what I wish? I wish Warped was still happening.
God, me too. What I would give to go to Warped again.
I know.
If you don't know, me and Savannah went to the last Warped together. It was so fun. But also sad because it was the last one.
I know.
And you know what? I was a little shocked that Fall Out Boy wasn't at that Warped, but I'm going to see him. I have already actually seen Fall Out Boy once before, but they're one of my fave bands, so I'm excited. I've been singing their songs all day.
Do you know who's opening?
Yeah, dude, it's Jimmy Eats World, and I think somebody else. I cannot wait. Wait.
I would be more excited for that.
Dude, I'm excited.
To be totally honest.
Honestly, no. First of all, you're crazy, but
I love them.
I love both. I'm so my inner like early 2000 child self is screaming so hard at what I'm about to experience. I'm just so excited. I can't. Like it's giving One Tree Hill vibes. If you've ever seen One Tree Hill.
Why One Tree Hill? Do they play a lot of Fall Out Boy?
Baby, you ain't never seen One Tree Hill?
No. I think we've went over this.
I know. Okay, well, this is not really a spoiler, but it's a little bit of a spoiler. Fall Out Boy is in the show.
Oh, well.
Yeah. They play a part as themselves in the show. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I love the era. Love the vibes. But before we get started, And moving along, I guess, from Fall Out Boy, even though I could talk about them forever. Hold on, pause. I have to give my predictions because I did, when I went and saw, they always, if you don't know who Fall Out Boy is, they're like crazy and they always wear really interesting, unique clothing, especially on tour and when they're performing. So when I saw them last time, they came out as these like creatures. I don't know how else to describe it. If you just like Google Fall Out Boy like creature, it would probably come up. I don't know how to describe it. So, and then like they recently had a performance on some like award show that just happened where they were like wearing regular suits, but they had like box shoulder pads, like where they look like Lego men. So I'm just like, what are they going to do now?
Interesting.
You know, like what's my prediction of what's going to happen? I don't know. Something crazy, I presume, is going to be worn by them. So updates next week on what they wore.
So you don't have anything specific to guess? Honestly, I feel like you could throw anything out there and
that's what I'm
like
saying. Okay.
It could be true.
So the tour is like based on their new album, right? So Much for Stardust, and the cover of that is a dog. So I'm gonna guess that they're gonna come out as dogs.
Okay,
that's my guess.
So that's a good guess.
Yeah,
solid.
Yeah, you know, not too bad of one. So that's my guess. But moving on from Fall Out Boy, we will continue this conversation next week. But I just wanted to mention and see if anybody else agrees. I know you agree, Savannah, but on just how fun it is to go get a little treat and go shopping.
Oh my God, yes. That was us the other day.
It was unbelievably us. We went and got some bubble tea, some boba. Love that.
And then we each spent like $200.
And then we went into so many stores and just did some serious damage. But yeah, honestly, the serotonin levels that were in my brain.
Right. And I'm still experiencing it because I look at what I got and I'm like, ooh.
I just put on this like lipstick stuff that I got. And I'm like, oh, see, this is why I got it, because it makes my everyday so much better.
Exactly.
I love it. And this is not sponsored, but I must say that Summer Fridays has a spectacular lip balm. If anybody needs a lip balm. And also, if Summer Fridays wants to hit me up and do a collab, I would love that.
I should have gotten one, honestly.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that was the last one. That's what she said.
Well, okay.
So, you could have gotten one anyway. There's at least that. But yeah, I need more flavors. So, we'll be doing that. But anyway, I guess that's all for intro topics. Go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please. But if you want to go ahead and get into your story, Savannah.
Okay. Yeah, let's get on into it. This week I found this story that I guess I'm going to categorize as like a mystery. And there's like some legend behind it. Okay. It is the Plane of Jars.
The Plane of Jars.
Yes. The Plane of Jars.
Plane, spell plane.
Plain.
Okay. Interesting. I'm very intrigued.
What do you picture when I say that?
I picture like a sandy desert with a bunch of jars all over the sand, like completely covering the sand, and they're like very sandy. That's what I picture.
Interesting that you say sand. It is not sand.
Yeah, I don't know why I picture it like that.
It is like more of like a grassy, like a field. You know, a big open field. Mm-hmm. Yeah. With jars in it.
Interesting.
But these jars are not just like everyday, like modern glass jars or anything.
Oh yeah, I was picturing like mason jars.
Yeah. They are actually huge. They're big. They're really big, and they are made of stone.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I was not expecting that.
Yeah. So these, this site is one of the most important prehistoric sites in Southeast Asia. So there are like thousands of stone jars from the Iron Age
Mm-hmm.
in this area.
That's cool.
And they vary in height and diameter between like 1 and 3 meters in diameter. And they're like, I've seen pictures of people standing next to them. They're like, they could probably be like 6 feet tall. Like they're big.
Wow. That's crazy.
There's some that are smaller. Like they vary in size, but yeah, they're pretty big. But just imagine like a jar, like I don't know how else to describe it other than that. But it's like, I guess I should have pulled up a picture to send you. I can
I mean, I can look it up.
Mm-hmm. So they're like cylindrical with the bottom always wider than the top. And they're actually undecorated, so just basic stone, with the exception of one of them. One of the jars at site 1, because I guess they numbered the sites since it's such a big area that has these jars. Mm-hmm. Only one of them is like decorated at all, and it has a human frog man carved on the exterior. So.
Amazing. Okay, I'm looking at the plane of jars. I'm very confused. They look crazy. This is not at all what I was picturing.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting. I
know.
I need to find the main one with the frog man.
Yeah, I actually didn't even... I forgot to look that up to see if I could find it. So hopefully you can find it.
I did.
Okay.
It's really hard to see because like the stone is worn down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I see it. I see it.
Yeah. So these jars, they also have like a rim around the top. So it's thought that the jars have lids, but only a few of them like still have the lids. So this shows that most of them were made from material that was like perishable.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't last as long as the jar themselves. So that's just something to note, I guess. Some are standing... Oh, now here I have the height of them. Some are standing close to 10 feet tall.
Wow, okay, that's crazy.
So
the ones that I saw looked to be like maybe 3 to 4 feet tall.
Yeah. Yeah, so they really vary. Like some can be like 10 feet tall and then some are, smaller.
Crazy.
But they're big. And they weigh like several tons because it's made of stone. So they're heavy. And they cover the mountainous landscape of northern Laos. And they're carved from like sandstone mostly. And a few other types of stone, but mostly sandstone. And they're found in groups from just one by itself up to a group of 400. So,
oh wow,
they're just, yeah. So archaeologists actually believe, actually before I tell you what they think they were used for, what do you think they were used for?
Okay, so I didn't actually have any idea until I saw the picture, but my guess is gonna be, I don't know in which way this could even be possible, but like a burial ground is what it maybe looks like.
You are correct.
That's crazy. How is that possible?
Yeah.
Don't tell me they're inside there.
Well, let me tell you. So archaeologists believe that they served as funerary urns.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Got it.
So French researcher Madeleine Kalani, she concluded this in 1930, that they were used as urns, and excavation by Lao and Japanese archaeologists have supported this interpretation with like the discovery of they discovered human remains in the area, burial goods. So like people, when they're buried, they just buried like some items with them.
Yeah, for sure.
And like different ceramics around the jars.
Ooh.
So like smaller versions of the jars, I guess, and like, ceramic things that you would actually use and not just these huge
Yeah.
jars. But and also inside the jars, embedded in like the soil, there was found soil colored glass beads. Or no, sorry, not soil colored, just colored glass beads. Burned, you're not gonna like this. Burned teeth.
Burned teeth.
Yeah, and bone fragments. And sometimes more than one individual was found in the same
I was
urn.
wondering if you were going to say that. How do you burn teeth? You can't, right?
Well, I'm gonna let me just keep going.
Okay.
So, research dates some of them to as early as 1240 BC. So they're really old.
Wow.
And they also, like, researchers also found a cave in the area of one of these sites. A cave that had a man-made holes in the top, and they are thought to be chimneys for a crematorium.
Okay, well, I guess that answers my question.
Yeah, that kind of answers your question. And honestly, when I read that, I was like, wait, they had cremation back then?
That's what I mean, when you said urn, I was like, okay, they have to be on fire, but how?
I
And
know,
in a
yeah.
cave makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
They were smart
I
back
mean,
then.
I know, like, cremation, I guess, is like way, way, way older than I thought it was.
Yeah, definitely. That's
And
for
I
sure.
guess, like the modern version of cremation is very, very different from what they did, So
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
that's why we're thinking that it wasn't even around. But
True. Plus, I feel like we picture like in this big industrial machine
yes, exactly.
cremation thing, and obviously they weren't gonna have that back then.
Yeah, yeah. But they did have their own way. So yeah. Uh, there is like, so one theory is that they were like cremated and then put into these urns or whatever. But then another theory goes with like known practices of the area that are like still sort of they're still practiced by some people, that the bodies were put in the urns to see some of these words. I'm warning you already. So
Okay.
the bodies were put into the urns to decompose, and then later the bones were taken out and then cremated
Okay.
and then put back
That makes sense
for like a
because
second
it would take a
burial.
lot less time.
Yeah,
It would just save time to let them
yeah,
decompose. That's crazy though.
yeah. And then this is actually a similar practice that is done today with like royalty in the area. So I don't know if it was royalty back then or like everybody,
Yeah.
but in today's day, like that's what they do with like their royalty. And then like common people, quote unquote, are just buried.
Interesting.
But
That's
yeah,
very interesting.
yeah. So it's like, so that's what they think that this area was probably
Yeah.
used for. But like some of it just doesn't add up fully. So I'm gonna go into a little bit. It was determined that these urns, like these jars, they were transported from their current location in at least one of the spots. They were transported from a quarry that was 8 kilometers away.
That's a long time.
And
A
they're yes,
long.
and they're like tons. They weigh
Yeah.
so
I mean, some
much.
of them are 10 feet tall.
Yes, exactly. And also it's like they seem to be made from chisels, so like they were like
Yeah.
chiseled out. So yeah. And not all of the jars have remains in them. And so like they could have been there before they were used as a grave site. So
Okay.
like
Yeah.
so that means like what were they used for then? Like why were they there in the first place?
Hmm. That's a really good question. Or like, I don't know. I was just wondering, like, if a family, like, I don't know, say like a bunch of family members had died, right? And then suddenly they came upon some money and they like wanted their family to be represented in this like little burial site, so they got a stone, but nobody was buried there.
Maybe. I see what you're saying. Like some of them were like getting ready to put somebody there, but like they
Yeah.
never got to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
But I feel like that can't be the case for all of them.
I know. Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. Like I do kind of like the idea that like oh like they were there beforehand and they like the people who used them as a burial ground didn't even know what they were for.
Right.
And it's like
Like, what if they were
it's a
toilets?
big
Because they also kind of
mystery.
look like a toilet.
Toilets.
That was really, I'm so serious, going to be my second guess. But I
I
just, like,
mean,
knew you weren't going to talk about toilets. Because they're kind of like, they kind of look like a toilet. A little bit,
I mean,
you know? At least the picture that I saw,
I
like,
guess so.
a rounded, like,
I could see it.
stone with, like, a little smaller circular. I mean, some of them have, like, huge circles. So, like, obviously not those. But,
Yeah.
like, the smaller ones.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my guess would be, honestly.
No,
But,
I'm not saying that I think that it's toilets. I'm just like it could be anything, you know.
but yeah, that's like that is a guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, local legends say that the stone jars were actually made by giants, and the giants used the jars to brew rice water, not rice water, rice beer, or wine, to celebrate a victory in a war.
Interesting.
So they were just like storage for their liquor, their alcohol.
I mean, that could make sense if giants existed,
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, yeah. Another legend says that these jars were molded from like natural materials, included clay, sand, sugar, in a stone mix. But like, and like the locals, they believe that the cave was like a kiln where the jars were fired and created. But research shows that they were carved and not molded. So that theory is
Yeah.
kind of thrown out. But
Yeah, I think they definitely look carved instead of molded, too.
yeah, yeah. So these jars, like, I keep saying like the different sites because like
There's
they
multiple
cover
everywhere.
yes they cover a big area. Like they can be found from Laos to northern India,
That's crazy.
and
That's
it's
so
like
many.
and it's like a path
Oh,
too. Yeah.
interesting.
So that even adds more of a mystery to it. It's like why is there so many and why is there a path?
Yeah, why is it a bath?
Like I don't know. And so one theory, because of this factor, one theory says that they could have been used as water bottles.
Okay, I was
So
thinking that too, like a big cup, but I'm like, how could they transport that?
yeah, well, see that's what that's why there's so many of them is what the theory says that there's so many of them. So like as you're traveling, you can just
Oh,
like scoop water from each one or whatever. And it's like rainwater would
that.
collect in them and the people traveling could have access to water. But I mean, then it's like stagnant water, so I don't know.
I was gonna say, but like, did they know any better back
Yeah,
then in the
I don't know.
BC?
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
don't like in the 1200 or whatever you
I
said
mean, and
BC.
also if it rains like every day, maybe it's fine.
True,
I don't know.
but I feel like it doesn't rain every day.
Yeah.
But I was
Yes, I
also
don't
thinking
know.
that too, like maybe water. I don't know. I feel like that could be a good. If they didn't know any better about stagnant water, that's a really good theory.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they knew.
Um so so this like field like a whole area basically it's not researched very much honestly. Like we do have some research, like all the stuff that I was saying before, but there's something that's holding researchers back from going there. It's actually really dangerous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we have our country to thank for that.
Oh, good. Great. That's so shocking.
So, during the Vietnam War, around that time, the US like dropped a bunch of bombs there,
Yeah, I
basically.
already knew you were gonna say
And they haven't exploded.
that. Oh
So
my
there's like a
God.
bunch of unexploded munitions in the field of jars.
In the
In the
plane of
plane of
jars.
jars.
Yeah.
So yeah. So this area, it can't be safely studied. There are certain areas that have been cleared, that people have been like, okay, there's no bombs here, like you can go visit this part. But that's why there's not that much research that has gone into this, because they can't go through all of it because
Wow.
there's bombs. So it is actually also known as the like most dangerous archaeological site. So yeah.
Why am I so willing to take one for the team to go out there? Like, I honestly feel like this might be naive of me, but like, if the bombs haven't already gone off, are they going to go off? I don't know.
Well,
I'm
I
not a
mean,
bomb technician. I did watch Oppenheimer, but that's it.
isn't it like if
Like, what are we talking? Are we talking like an atomic bomb, or like
no, no, no.
a grenade? Like,
Maybe something like that, like a bomb, like I don't know.
okay, like a pipe bomb. Like, there's so many bombs.
I don't know. I don't know how crazy it is, but just
Or like,
like,
is it giving like Hunger Games? Like, you step on the one thing and like explode.
oh yeah, no, definitely, it's like that. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. I'm honestly still willing to risk it. Like, if I personally was an archaeologist, you know.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
Listen,
yeah.
I need to know. I feel like we need to know what they are for my personal gain.
I know. Like I don't know if you like. I guess if they found more evidence of like other things, they could put
Yes,
some two and two together and
For
be like,
sure.
okay, this is what they were used for.
For
So
sure.
like they definitely could find out more
They definitely
if they did
could.
more research.
Oh, but I see. Wait, hold on. It's actually coming to me. I see the issue. Archaeologists have to dig, and to dig, and to dig the bombs. I see.
Yeah,
I
it's
see.
an issue. It's an issue.
I hate us for that. Why did we do that? Now we're probably never going to get the answer. Maybe one day, though. I'm going to hold out hope.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is the point of jars.
Can I also just say that the whole time that Christina Perry song Jar of Hearts was playing in my head?
Oh my gosh, Jar of Hearts.
Yeah.
That's a good song.
It is indeed. She also wrote a song for Twilight. Just, had to throw that in there because we always have to mention Twilight in some way,
You know,
shape, or form.
you just reminded me though. I keep getting these TikToks on my For You page that are like, this song reminds me of being in Kohl's in like 2012. And like that song probably could go on the list.
Oh, it definitely could go on the list. We were in Coles the other day. And
Yeah,
now I'm like,
we were.
was that playing in the background? Probably could have been.
Yeah, but we were in the Sephora in Kohl's, so
Yeah, but it's
you know,
still in
a little bit
Coles.
cooler.
You know?
Yeah. That's like a recent addition, like the past few years, right? The Sephora.
Oh, yeah. I've never even gone into a Coles that has a Sephora in it before. We did the other day, so. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
It has to be new. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Well, I guess moving along to my story. There's no words, so I might as well just get into it. I am covering the legend of the Nocnitsa.
Oh,
Da-da-da.
interesting.
Yeah. A little difficult name, honestly. But this legend comes from Russian, Poland, and Slavic folklore. And so the word Nocnitsa literally translates to the night hag.
Oh.
So that's not a great sign, you know?
I was gonna say that's me, but I don't stay up late, so.
Yeah, if anything, it's me. Because I definitely stay up late. But in fact, let me tell you right now, this is not me. Nor do I, and I
Okay.
never want it to be me.
Okay. Yeah, I figured that was the case, but before I know anything about it, I like to,
Yeah, like the night hag
say something
sounds
like that.
cool at first,
Yeah, yeah.
but then we learn some other things, such as,
Oh,
she has some other names as well. Some maybe
okay.
more
Okay.
fun. You might like them better even than the Nocnitsa or the night hag. Um, she's also known as Krisky or Plaxy.
Interesting.
I don't know why. I tried to look up why. Can't find out why. So, you know.
It's probably something that's lost in translation,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say so. But anywho, it doesn't really matter, what her name is. This same being is referenced all throughout Russia, Poland, and like Slovakia. So she's very widely known, and she's very widely known to torment children at night. Just what we love to hear,
Of course, yes.
Mm-hmm. She's known to have glowing red eyes and an eerie, screeching voice.
Oh my God.
Amazing. So amazing. And so, what's interesting is her body below the waist is nothing but like shadowy mist. Kind of like what you imagine like a ghost kind of looking like, but it's not even
Okay.
her legs. It's just like her waist down is gone. So she's
Interesting.
just half a body, fun. And what's even more delicious is that it said that she smells strongly of forest, but not in the good way. Not a good forest smell, like a bad, wet, dirt, disgusting,
Oh,
damp
okay.
kind of smell. And that's because she's thought to live deep within the forest when she's not out tormenting children. So that's probably why she smells like that. And so legend even says that her smell is so potent that it can be smelled when a person is dreaming, and it will linger in their room even after she leaves, like the smell.
Oh, interesting.
So, very, very interesting.
I don't know if I like that. Like, just, okay,
Oh
so
no, 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 no. We don't like this.
in their dreams, like, I don't know if I've smelled things in my dreams before.
Dude, that's what I was going to say. So, we're going to get into it, but this. Okay, so like the Nocnitsa is a demonic spirit, okay? And she is kind of literally like a sleep paralysis demon or Freddy Krueger in a way, because she only
Okay.
attacks in dreams of
Oh.
children. So,
Oh, and you have to be a child.
yeah, so we're good. We're old, we're good.
Okay.
Hopefully, hopefully. But so apparently, what will happen is like this child whoever she's attacking will basically have sleep paralysis, and they will think that they're waking up and seeing a woman like sitting on their chest drawing out their life energy. And it's said that she feeds off of a person's sadness and depression. So like the more sad, the more depressed, the stronger she gets when she like feeds.
Dang.
Which I'm like, don't get
That
a hold of me, honey. She would have max power.
right, like I mean, we're adults though, so.
I know, but just in general, like the sadness and the depression part, So we're
Well,
a
we
little
just
bit
said
less now.
our depression has been cured by the sun though.
Well, yeah, I said most of mine.
Well, yeah.
I did say I had some left.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she only attacks in dreams, which is very scary. Because she's like a real sleep paralysis demon most of the time. Like when you hear like, oh, that's my sleep paralysis demon in the corner, it's not actually a demon in the corner. But this girl actually is a demon on top of you, sucking your life energy away, like while you're sleeping.
That's scary.
I know, it's so scary, and it's not like there's nothing really you can do in the moment, but there are some things that you can do. So we'll get into that in a minute. So, well, I guess we can go ahead and get into it now. There's one way to stop the night hag is, well, not one way. period overall, you have to fight back, no matter what that means. So if you are like just accepting her presence, like you're like, oh, okay, this is just like a sleep paralysis demon, it will only lead to your death because she will suck the literal life out of you.
Wait, okay, so she's not just tormenting you, she's literally like actively killing you?
Yeah, slowly over time, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like if you really let her do it long enough, yeah.
Cool. Oh my God. Dang.
Yeah, it's really good, yeah. So yeah, the more time that she spends feeding off of like your negative emotions, the more difficult she is to get rid of. And so we have, if this is sounding kind of familiar to you, I covered a similar creature called the boo hag in
Yes.
South Carolina, and that was all the way back in episode 12, if you want to listen to that. But the difference between the two is that the boo hag mainly targets adults, and the night hag, or the Nocnitsa, targets children. So
Okay.
honestly, neither one is great, but at least the boo hag isn't going after kids, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
See, like this legend just seems like a way to make kids be like,
but like,
happy. Be like, don't be
oh,
sad,
true.
or
That's
or
true.
or she's gonna get you. She's
That's
gonna
true,
get
but
you.
also like that's not really how that works. you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was also wondering, like, what is the goal in this legend? Like, there's nothing
It's
like,
to make the kids happy.
yeah, I guess to force them to not be depressed.
Yeah. And it's like, then you'll just be depressed and maybe faking happiness and then scared of
Yeah,
this
really
thing
scared.
coming at you. Like,
Right, and also like I wonder how many kids have had a dream about the Nocnitsa, but it actually wasn't her. You know what I'm saying? Like they dream that it is, but it's not actually her. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying by that? Like
Yeah.
she's not
No,
actually attacking, but like they're like, she came at me, like blah blah blah. I can just imagine.
yeah.
I can imagine the children at school, you know. But anyway, back to fighting her off. Let's see here. I lost my spot. Okay, so in Poland, which is one of the three places where this legend, you know, is, it is apparently a common thing to do. Mothers would actually place a knife under their kids' cradles and
No.
draw a
Oh my
circle around the child with a knife for protection,
What?
like before putting it underneath them. So, like, they can't reach it, but they do have a knife,
Oh my God.
you know, because that's like babies.
Also, how is that gonna protect them when, like, they're a baby? They can't pick it up,
Right.
right?
I mean, well, okay. So,
Or can they? I don't know.
well, let me get there. Okay, so can you, first of all, though, can you just imagine like going to bed and your mom is like, "Oh, here's your knife, just in case the night hag comes and gets you." Like, the crazy thing is like I think that they're really serious about this, and that's one thing about like as crazy and outlandish as this legend sounds, they really are giving their children knives. So I'm like, do they believe this is real?
I
Or,
mean,
like,
the people who give them knives definitely do.
like,
But
well, that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of them gives them knives though, so that's interesting. But yeah. So let's see. So it is said apparently that the Nocnitsa, as well as most other supernatural beings, cannot touch iron. So that's their like kryptonite apparently.
yeah,
Which
I've heard that with like vampires,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Or
yeah,
is it
and like
something else?
werewolves maybe.
Oh wait, no,
No,
with
that's
them
a
it's
silver.
silver.
Yeah, but I think it's like the same concept. And I guess
Yeah.
maybe this is more common like for the monsters over there, like near Russia and
Okay.
Poland and stuff like that. But like, yeah, so apparently supernatural beings cannot touch iron. So I guess these knives were made out of iron. So, yeah, so basically these children aren't being given the knives to like stab somebody. They're it's kind of like a protective charm because it is iron. It'll like keep her away, if that makes sense. And I guess that's probably like the only thing that was
Oh.
made out of iron that they had like on hand.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay.
So it's not as crazy as it first appeared to be. At
Yeah.
least there's at least that. Now this is what had me shook. Okay, very 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 fun fact is that in the book Coraline, which obviously later inspired the movie, Coraline's other mother was actually a Nocnitsa, and she was taking her soul while she was in the other
Oh
world.
my God.
And if you think about it, that makes a lot of sense.
It does.
A lot of sense.
But like, okay, but do they always like get you to trust them like that? Because she like got her to trust her.
Well, I guess
and
there's
then
I
dragged her
guess
in.
there's like many different ways you can do it. You can either like
True.
scare them to
Yeah.
death or like, you know, any way you can, I guess is the way.
Yeah.
You know, and even if you think about Freddy Krueger, like he went through like your specific greatest fear, like in your head. So I'm assuming they
Right.
use like different ways in each kid or person that they attack. But I was like, that's crazy. Like, if you really think about it, like now I need to go watch Coraline again.
I know, I haven't seen it in so long.
Really, I watched it like over Halloween, but I still love it. But yeah, like I said, I kind of came to the conclusion, like in the research, that most people kind of really believe in the Nocnitsa, and at least like it, if not believed in it, at least believed enough in the superstition to put iron in the children's bedrooms, you know, to try to keep her away if she was real. So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm just personally glad that the Nocnitsa is not going to come after me since I'm an adult. So,
True. Yeah.
yeah, but that is the legend of the Nocnitsa.
Wow.
Hated it. Loved it, but I hated it at the same time.
Yeah.
It happens in most
that was a good
cases
one.
for me, I'd have to say. Definitely though, go check out our Instagram because there will be some very scary renderings of the Nocnitsa, I'm sure,
Yeah.
as well as these glorious jars.
Yeah.
It's not what you're picturing.
The
I can
jars.
promise you that. I can promise you that.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even have to make one up in my head because the first article, like the first thing I read about these jars had a picture.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just really imagine
But-
like the clear mason jars like completely in a desert. But that is
Yeah.
so unbelievably far from what it actually is.
yeah.
That- It's just funny, honestly. But yeah, go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please.
Yes, please.
But I guess that's really all I have for you guys this week. What about you, Savannah?
Yeah, that is it.
Okay, then I guess we will see you guys next week.
Cue the music.